Okay, coaches, we're going to go through a couple things here real quick. With COYBL, anybody that will be working on team pages needs to create an account. So obviously most of you guys have already done that. If you have not, click on create an account, put your information in, your email address and your password. That's what you'll use to log in with. And then once you're there, then you're going to go to login. And I'm actually going to use the coach's login information so I can show you what you're going to see on your end. When you log in. And once you're logged in, the only time you're actually going to have an edit button that you can use is when you're on your team page. Right now, if you're on the home page for the website, it'll say you don't have edit privileges on this page. So we're going to go to the coach's team page that I'm using, and I appreciate his let me use it. So it's the Ohio Hitman. He's a new team, and we're going to go to his team page. And we're going to show you how to do a couple things real quick with the team page. So once you're logged in and you're on your team page, you can see the edit button right here. So we're going to toggle the edit mode button to on. And we're going to go through a couple things here real quick about what you're going to see on your team page. Things that we require are home field location so other teams can find you guys, and also your pitch tracker. Your pitch tracker will have the age group listed down here that you're playing under. If it is not the proper one, you can change it by going into edit here and selecting the proper one. You got to make sure it says COYBL and also the age group that you're under. Always click Save Changes after you make any changes. So here it shows all the pitchers that are listed for this team and the next game that they're eligible to pitch. So it actually looks at only the games that are on your schedule. Roster is something you have to populate, and once you're going to the roster page, there's some players already in here because the coach has got it all taken care of. We're just going to show you add a player, create a player. You put his legal first name and his legal last name, whatever's on his birth certificate. It should match up, and then the jersey number. And you must, if he has any remote chance of pitching, you got to select pitcher and save player, and it'll populate into your roster. Game schedule. Here's where you're going to schedule all your games. And there's already one game scheduled here. So I'm going to go through and show you how to add a game. So there's 3 different scenarios that you're going to have. You're going to have a divisional game. So we're going to select somebody in the division. So we're going to go Columbus Cobras, and we're going to say that the game is scheduled for the 19th at 4:15. And since it's a divisional game, you won't change anything. It should say affects league and division standings. So we're going to say create game, and then it's going to populate into the schedule here. So we're going to show you the other scenarios as well. So you can see the Cobras is scheduled. We're going to go into and add an outside league game. So basically what that means is it's a COYBL team in another division. So we're going to go to divisions, and then we're going to go to we're going to say it's Aces Baseball Club 2018. Once all the age groups are updated, it'll be 2019, and then you wait for that, and you got to put in the 2019 season so it knows it's pulling for the right one. There is an override standing issue here. So We don't want it to count in division standings, but we want to count it in the overall standings. So we're going to create that game like that. And this year we have a new option. If you're playing in tournaments or somebody that's from another area, you can click on custom opponent, custom team. You call them the Dallas Stars. So you can call it that. We're going to change the game time to 5 o'clock on the 23rd. And this one will be the same thing. Affects league standings only. That's your overall standings. And or you can click on does not affect standings, but it won't show up in your overall. So for right now, we're going to include it in the overall standings. So that's how you create games. And then if you want to score a game, so we're going to go in and we're going to act like we already played the Cobras. We're going to click on the status. And we prefer you don't use quick score because you can't enter pitching at that point. So we're going to go to edit stats, and we're going to say we scored 1 each in the first inning, 2 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th, and none in the 6th. Since it's a 12 and under game, there's only 6 innings, so we're going to remove an inning. But then we want to add the pitch count. So we're going to click on Trey Spurrier, and we're going to go in down to the pitching stats. Click on Trey Spurrier under pitching stats, and we're going to enter pitch count. And then we're going to go to Malone and say he threw 15 pitches, and the Cobras would do the same thing on their end when they go in and save stats. So it's going to come back up. So we've got so the game is scored. It was a 4-3 game, and what we have to do, we have to change the game status after that. So stats were saved successfully. The game's still showing scheduled. We want to show it as final. So click on final, and the game is final. So when you go back into your game schedule, you're going to see the game is scored final. And for the 19th. So we're going to go back to the team home page. Actually, it's a division home page, and then we're going to have to pick the team again. So you can see the Ohio Hitmen are 1-0, and the Cobras are 0-1. I'll fix that so it doesn't show up on the schedule. That's it on the team page. If you want to add something to your website, again, you go into edit mode. If you want to add pictures or videos or anything like that, what we're going to do is, so you don't want to add anything to these. We call these layout containers. Don't add anything to these layout containers here. Anything you add, please try to add it below the pitch tracker. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and add a layout container. We'll show you how to do that. So there's different sizes available. So for right now, we're going to add a 2-column layout container. So what it does is when you create that, it's going to actually put it at the very bottom of your web page. Now you can grab hold of those and drag them up. So you grab hold of this little 4-sided arrow thing, and you can drag it up anywhere you want. But again, we prefer you try to add it below the pitch tracker. So that's a layout container, different sizes. Now you can add a page element within the layout container. So here we can add a text block where we can go in and add a title and information you want to put in there. We can add a single photo, and you can browse. If you have a picture on your computer, you want to just browse and upload it. You can put a link to it. If you want to take somebody to a different link, we can do documents. We can do contact information, sponsor information, photo galleries, videos, audios, a number of different tools you have here to work with. A countdown timer to say your first game of the season, a link to your Facebook page. Again, the pitch tracker needs to be on everybody's page. Weather, streaming video. There's a lot of different tools here you can use to for your team. If you want to change your team colors or add a logo, you can go here, edit team, change the colors here by clicking on that. You can upload a logo by clicking browse and uploading anything you got on your team on your computer. And if you want to give anybody permission, a team parent or assistant coach, to edit your team page, you can do that by going to permissions and entering, if they have a COYBL account, you can enter their information here. Show you real quick. I'm going to add me as I can add it, but I'm not one of the owners of the page. If you have an assistant coach or somebody that you want to help keep up with the team page, you can add them at any time. So next thing we're going to do is add a field location, so teams, parents, they can go to your team page and find out where you guys play at. So what we're going to do is here, we've already created the layout container, home field location box here. We're going to click on that little wheel and go to edit, and you can change this if you want, but home field location is a good heading to use. And I've already copied the address, so I'm just going to paste it here and then click on save. So we've got a home field location. It gives the address. The next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to put a link to the field location. So we're going to put this in here, and then we're going to go to Google Maps, and I've already put the address in and clicked search, and then all you got to do is click on the address in the address box up here and copy it, and then go back to your team page and put it in the URL box there. And I always I'm going to put in link to home field, and I always like to put it in a new window. So there we've got it. So if they go to this location here on your team page and click on link to home field, it'll take them to a Google Maps location where they can put in their address and get directions from their location. So that's a good way to do that. If you have any questions on that, please let us know, and we'll be glad to help you.